Hello, hello! My name is Callista, and welcome back to Roottreemania. In the last episode, I focused on Guy Hudson, although, to be brutally honest, I really don't think I accomplished anything. I really don't think I accomplished anything in the last episode, so at the very end there, I did use the duck. And we were told, hey, 5Ps is a musician. Maybe you should look into his music. So, you know what, let's... 5. It's with a Z. Okay, let's see. Yeah, to be honest, actually, it's been a while since I went and checked through, like, okay, let's search up all of the notes I've made. So yeah, we have Root of All Evil. We could also we have Modern Music Monthly. Okay, nothing relevant. We do also have the Portland Telegraph. 5Ps is from Portland. Aha! Also, before I forget, let me set my timer going. Excuse you, there we go. Since Felix Fellows, aka 5Ps, was confirmed to be a Roottree, there's been a myriad of articles in his hometown's newspaper that mention him. Nothing appears to be new information. It all rehashes the News Time article and his web search results. The newspaper's music critic did review his last album. They gave it a 3 out of 5. Also, whilst I remember, Ruby, is it 1T or 2? 2. Because again, she's also from Portland. Ah. Ruby Spratt was featured in the Portland Telegraph when she was in high school in an article called Local Teen Making Change for Foster Care System. According to the article, Ruby Spratt grew up in the foster care system, was apparently the valedictorian of her school, and was, as a Girl Scout too, at the time of the article, was earning her Gold Award. This required a project to help the community, and Ruby chose to raise money to build a fountain she called Foster Fountain. The fountain has a small pedestal that sticks up high above the water. People are expected to toss coins into the fountain for good luck, and will be encouraged to aim for the top of the pedestals. All the coins scraped from the bottom are slated to be donated to Portland's foster care system. A coalition of local businesses that sponsor the fountain have committed to matching any of the donations that successfully land on the target. Okay. Okay, that's just that. Can we... Oh. The Fountain of Youths, also known as Foster Fountain, is a fountain found in a small park in Portland. All proceeds from change thrown into the fountain are donated to the foster care system. A website for Portland's Parks and Recreation mentions under a trivia section that the Fountain of Youths was originally conceived by Ruby Spratt, an alumni of the foster care system. As more businesses signed on as sponsors, it grew in scope, even beyond Spratt's original hopes. The fountain is unique because it has special targets that visitors can aim their coin towards. If a coin lands on one of these targets, each of the sponsor's businesses matches it. This isn't a huge amount of money from each business, but more than 100 businesses have agreed to participate, so each penny becomes $1. Oh, that is clever. I like that. I like that. And again, it's just... They're both from Portland. They both grew up in the foster care system. I'm just saying. Now then, Root of All Evil. Root of All Evil is 5P's debut album. According to various sources, the album is mostly material that 5Ps recorded for his mixtapes before he became notable, but re-recorded with lyrical differences and professional production. All Your Problems was the first and only single released. After dropping the single, 5Ps announced that he'd retained the infamous celebrity lawyer Stevie Whitlock to sue his family. To date, it doesn't seem like he's followed through. At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars an hour to call and request the video on MTV, which increased its profile. MTV eventually caught on and banned the video altogether, which in turn received national news coverage and made the song even more popular. So, All Your Problems. Thank you. This track is the only new song on the album. The subject matter of the song is the hypocrisy of those that claim money is evil. He points out that only people who think money is evil are those that have it, those that can afford not to be greedy. In the song, 5Ps triumphantly talks about taking the Roottree's wealth due to it being his birthright and giving it to those who need it most. You find a copy of the song on a suspicious-looking website and download it for your records. Okay, I will have a listen to that. However, first, before I forget, Stevie Whitlock is a lawyer with a history of publicity stunts and grandstanding. Still, she's managed to rack up quite a few legal victories for C-list celebrities and athletes. She became famous in the 1980s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch subs were actually an average of 11.5 inches long. Stevie argued that since the company sold 1 billion sandwiches per year, that was enough missing sandwich to make a sub long enough to span from New York to Los Angeles. The jury awarded her a paltry $5,000, but the news coverage of her crusade turned out to be priceless. Unfortunately, none of this seems related to the Roottree's fair play. Fair play. Okay. This is the only single from 5Ps' album, Root of All Evil. It received some airplay, but didn't make a big splash critically or commercially. Still, it's kind of catchy.
Attention, attention, Roottrees.
Oh.
This is 5Ps coming at you from the real world. You know, the place you ain't ever lived in.
You say money is the root of all your problems. Root of all your
Man, y'all are hypocrites, sitting back in your massive estates, built from the cash that your ancestors gave you.
Okay, I actually really like this.
Based on your family's creations. Yo,
but looky here, sonny, don't you come for our money, or you might burn bright in hellfire someday, like that Madsen chick
and her two dads. My pappy's cleansing trust should keep you away. Yo, it's the
Nice diss on Miracle.
Sermon from a geezer who's never known hurt, but blurts out these claims that somehow we're sinners because we didn't earn it. When all of your worth it came free with your name, you expect me to treat your lectures on greed as some expert creed from he without blame. How about instead, I turn my other cheeks and spread them. When you give me a kiss, you'll know just where to aim.
You say money is the root of all your problems.
I'm quite inclined to listen to this all the way through because there might be clues within the lyrics.
Whoever calls dollars the root of all evil, just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burning spoons for the needle. So once more with passion, tell this poor tragic orphan your mansions and Porsches are actually horrible.
How I'm better off penniless, grasping for morsels. How wanting my share,
That's actually extortion. With your candy ass name, synonymous with sweets. Oh, you wanna call me classless? I'm gangster from Portland, but I play that game. I came up on the streets. The only streets you reppin' are Park Place and Boardwalk. Hypocrisy, monopoly is toppling. When I knock, have G's.
top off my pockets, please.
Cause the same God that got to steal my mom from me is what he wants, right? For you to live in poverty. And if you're suddenly not eager to unhand that fortune, that's unfortunate. I guess I'm gonna have to take my portion, and I'll do it all legally. Class action, courtroom, decorum. I'm way past your fancy ass dormant.
You say
This is...
money
I'm really liking this. However, I think this is all going to turn out to be... Like I said,
Bring the choir in.
you say
I feel... I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious of this guy and Ruby Spratt. They've got that connection.
you say money is the root.
Ooh, bring in the clapping. Love it.
Let me take those problems away.
Whoever calls solace, the root of all evil. Just trying to make small pursuits of real people. You silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burn their spoons for the needle.
Okay, and then it's just repeating. Okay. Ooh, I feel awkward because I quite like that. I quite like that. But I don't think he actually is a root tree. I don't think he is. I think this is something that Ruby Sprat has orchestrated because, oh, you know, I hate the rich. I want to help out my fellow foster care people. There's a pretty good chance that she knows 5Ps. They both grew up in the foster care system in Portland. Like, I think this is actually a really good song, but I feel like it's all gonna turn out to be bullshit. I like that. I think this might be my favourite verse where he's just like, I'm gonna take the piss out of Miracle. Fuck yes. Fuck yeah. Fuck Miracle. I don't like him. Man's a bitch. Am I seeing anything? Anything where I'm like, oh yeah, let me look that up. I like this. Your silver spoon feeds you the world's purest treacle, while real world folks burn their spoons for the need. I like that. Also, this as well. I was thinking, is this a Monopoly reference? And then your hypocrisy Monopoly. I was like, oh, I like that. Decorum my way past your fancy ass storm, and I think it's going to turn out you're a liar. I think it's going to turn out you're a liar. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything where I'm like, oh yeah, we need to look that up. This was just very, very interesting. Okay. Okay, wait a minute. We can actually, yeah, no clues. No clues. It was just something interesting to look up. Got it. Okay. Now that does kind of bring me right back to where I started. However, I have received some clues in the comments section. So if you are going to offer me a clue, please ask first, which this person did. You know what? I'ma look up the name. I'ma actually, thank you. Rather than saying this person, let me look up your name here. Yeah, this person basically said, would you like me to give you a clue in the style of the the hint duck? And I'm like, yo, I'm so stumped at this point. So yes, please. So thank you. Thank you for asking and clarifying, would you like a hint, rather than just being like, let me give you the hint. Dan! Thank you, Dan. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I'm barking up the right tree here. I'm barking up the right tree. We were looking for a place of conspiracies, and I do remember there was that conspiracy website in the first game, in the main game. However, I was kind of I was shoving it to the back of my mind. I was like, no, it can't be that. We're looking for something new. I got so focused on, I'm looking for something new, that I didn't think, wait a minute, what if we go to the past instead? What if we look where we've already been? Now, here's the thing. I'm like, how the fuck do I get there? How I remember... I'm thinking... Well, it was, yeah, Chris Rafferty. I can't... I got this from maybe Conspiracy. Oh, thank you. Oh. Okay. During your initial search, you came across Thomas Overwood's conspiracy page about the Roottrees. 8 months later, the page still exists and is thriving. The visitor count has reached 7 digits. Many older articles have been replaced. It seems that the recent uprising in Roottree news has left Thomas Overwood with a constant stream of events to base new theories on. More than one of his theories involves Roottree deaths being faked. According to Overwood, statistically, when you have this many high-profile people who have died in a family, the odds are that one of them faked their death. It's just math. Is it? I don't know math, but this does not seem like math. This newfound focus on death faking seems to coincide with a post mentioning that he's begun believing the "guy's not dead" theory. In his own words, "My eyes have been opened. All of this is beginning to make too much sense." One of his posts details the belief that Ron Roottree is still in charge. Gwyn Roottree's death was faked, and Clark is only there to throw people off. Apparently, this allowed Ron to travel to France to develop their new candy recipe in secret. Another is about rapper 5Ps. He can't possibly be a Roottree. One of his first album songs, when he was performing under the Devil name, actually mentioned he wanted to have sex with Raina. Okay. That would be... that would be extremely weird if they were related. I mean, I don't think he is related, but if they are, this could have been before he realised. Not even Sam Madsen is spared. According to Overwood, the author of 6 Pieces isn't real. Sam Madsen is an anagram of Am Madness. They're purposefully leaving hints for us. He claims that by using 6 Pieces with Lauren Roottree's book as a one-time pad, he has begun to decrypt a cipher. Most of the cipher has seemed meaningless, but he managed to pick out the words people and vastness, and is working on figuring out what it means. There is also a request at the bottom. Next year, 2000, is a leap year, and Overwood is looking for funds and volunteers to catch the Roottrees red-handed in Operation RT29. He specifically mentions not to volunteer if you've ever drunk Spirit Cola, but doesn't go into why. Okay, can we... Yeah, so this is just the exact same thing. Oh! The guy's not dead conspiracy. We are getting... Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan, for directing me towards the past. Yeah, I just got so focused on it's gonna be something new. It's gonna be something new that I forgot. No, look towards the past. Look towards the past. The Guy's Not Dead conspiracy stems from a website that focuses on clues that the Roottrees have supposedly hid all over the place. This includes on candy wrappers, in print advertisements, in television commercials, in their jingles, etc. The story, according to the website, is that Guy Hudson was a terrible president of the Roottree Company and introduced multiple failed products. Something needed to be done that would put the company immediately and instantly back in the favour of consumers, so they killed off Guy Hudson and replaced him with a new president. This move immediately garnered sympathy, and the company recovered the next year, more popular than ever. The next president stayed much further out of the limelight, and some people even theorised that he was simply Guy Hudson in an elaborate disguise, which is why he stopped appearing in public. The people who run the site are asking for help. They're certain that there's a clue to all of this that accidentally leaked in a banned article from the magazine Piketty. On their page is a scan of the magazine's cover, the interview with Cicely Sanchez about Guy Hudson, and some photos. You add them to your evidence. Okay, show me. Show me. Oh, hello. Okay, so here's the... Okay. This is an interview with Cicely Sanchez, an author. She was hired to write a book about Guy Hudson. You claim to have been paid a significant amount to write a book about one of the root trees, Guy Hudson. He was president for a short period at the end of the 1970s, right? Yeah, I met him on New Year's Eve, actually. The last night of 1978. Guy liked to throw big parties. I was just coming off of Changed Man and looking for my next project. When his wife learned who I was, she invited me to the party and they cornered me to talk about a book. That was the first time anyone recognized me from my work. I had finally made it. The book they asked me to write sounded great, but then none of the stuff that made him interesting was allowed to stay. Chop, chop, snip, snip. Anything with even the slightest threat to Guy's image ended up gonzo. Why would you ask this person to write a book then? I looked into the 2 books that Cicely Sanchez wrote, and they were like... I want to say that Changed Man, that was the one about a guy, he suffered some kind of head injury, and he changed overnight, like his entire personality just flipped. And then the other one was about a guy who went to Thailand to convert, like, a bunch of people, and he's claiming, oh yeah, I did it. But the number, it was, I don't think it was like 1 million, but it was an absurd number of people. Like, this is someone who likes to dive deep into people who you might consider controversial or challenging. So why would you expect her to write something that's just like, oh yeah, Guy Hudson was great and stuff, and he never did anything wrong in his life. Dwee. Like, why would you expect that? Why would you... Why? What was the stuff that made him interesting? At his core, Guy was not complicated. In fact, I think I could boil him down to 2 traits. First, what did I fucking say? He's nicked Elias's naming scheme. This man has no creativity. First, he wanted to be seen as the second coming of the great Elias Rootree. And second, he'd never be satisfied living the life needed to be seen that way. He had his fortune and good looks, and he really liked to exploit that to pick up women, but he couldn't let anyone else know, so it cost him a lot to cover it up. That was the only interesting aspect of Guy. He was James Bond trying to convince people he was Mr. Rogers, I guess. Mr. Rogers, really? Maybe that's not the best metaphor, but Elias Rootree was boring as hell and all about family. Guy did everything he could to be seen that way. After I submitted my first draft, he sent me this garbage book, The Rootree Legacy, with Elias on the cover. The last time he and I met, he had even switched out his orange suits for the same green ones Elias wore. And remember fancy flavours? Guy knew that part of Elias's legacy was the 5-piece flavours, so that's what Guy tried to do too. Caviar was a disaster here, but it was actually somewhat popular in Brazil for whatever reason. In Christmas 1979, he went to Brazil to open the Rootree Brazil factory. Guy was always hopping around the world trying to recreate that success. So how come the book never came out? It's complicated. I had an out in my contract. Surprisingly, Guy signed the contract my lawyers wrote without running it by anybody in his legal department. I could pull my name off the book at any time, but Guy still got the content. After I left, it probably got a lot harder to convince any real publisher to give it their time. Interview continues on the next page. Okay. Add page. Actually, wait a minute. No, this is Cicely Sanchez, so I can go right here. I don't know if this is a book that I've already looked up, so I'm just gonna put it there just in case. Rootree Brazil. Okay. He was the president, right? Do you know why he never released it himself? If I had to guess, his family very wisely put a stop to it. Mid-1981, months after I had already moved on, he called me back and showed me a final draft. Do you know how expensive it is to publish one copy of a book? It had my name on it in big shiny embossed letters. Like all problems in his life, throwing money at me was his attempt to win me back. But it had half the page count and the narrative was torn to bits. No thanks. The dinner was good, imported steak that likely cost as much as a month of my mortgage, and we all got pretty drunk. He sent his mistress... Oh! Okay. We all got pretty drunk. He sent his mistress, Susie something, into the bathroom to proposition me. Poor girl. I remembered her from our trips overseas. She was too good for him. Anyways, he died soon after, and that was the last it ever came up. What can you tell us about the family? Any insight into the scandals from the recent book by Sam Madsen? I actually haven't read it. I just skimmed the sections on Guide to see what people were suddenly calling me up to ask about. Oh, to see why people were suddenly calling me up to ask about the man. I'd say she did well for what she had to work with. She only had rumours, whereas I spent time tailing him. Sometimes he knew, sometimes he didn't. He invited me to join them when dealing with Roottreemania Brazil, but I actually had people on him when he went to Australia, France and China too. So we might have Roottreemania Australia, Roottreemania France, Roottreemania China. Okay. When he met with someone, I'd figure out who they were and how they were involved. Doubly so if the meeting happened when he didn't want me to be around. Despite his best efforts, I got the whole truth, including things even his family never knew. For example, the daughter of his business partner in Australia, I think her name was Robin. He and she definitely spent a few nights together that he didn't want his family to know about, but I did. Thank you. Okay, Madsen got things wrong. Sam mentions guys' affairs and treats them like most people would logically think to treat them, like the infidelity was a problem for Patricia. When his wife... Oh, they had an open marriage! Okay. You know what? Fair play then. Fair play. If it was an open marriage and she was like, yo, he sleeps with... I mean, that's, what is that? Ethical non-monogamy? Yo, like... I take back what I said about Guy being a scumbag. He was a scumbag for, like, a myriad of other things, but the cheating... Well, it wasn't actually cheating then. Shit. Sam mentions Guy's affairs and treats them like most people would logically think to treat them. Like the infidelity was a problem for Patricia. When his wife first approached me, though, it wasn't to talk, if you get my meaning. On paper and in public, it was a marriage like any other, but in reality, it was more of a mutually beneficial arrangement. They both got what they wanted out of it. The same thing. What was that? I'm assuming I only have to spell it out so you can get it in writing for your readers. Women. Patricia enjoyed the company of women, and the swinger scene made that more accessible. I told her I wasn't interested in her and Guy. I found out later that if I had said yes, her next question would have been whether or not her husband actually had to be there too. Guy, on the other hand, was seen in a traditional marriage and at the same time could bed any woman that found him charming. I can assure you that was exactly the type of marriage he was interested in. Oh, shit! So Patricia was a lesbian? And obviously she couldn't be out at the time, so she's like, yo, I'll be with a guy he loves women, and, you know, he can see whatever woman he wants, I can see whatever woman I want, and we can just be happy together. Oh my god! Like, I do apologise, Guy. I do apologise. I think you were shitty for a bunch of other stuff. How you treated Ernie, for one. But, like, I apologise. You're not a scumbag for the affairs. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. Ooh. This photo is the first from a magazine interview with Cicely Sanchez in Piketty. The issue of Piketty magazine that it came from was pulled from the shelves, but you managed to find it online. Piketty does not label its individual photos. Both photos were instead under the shared label. Cicely was provided these photos by the Roottreemania company for use in her book. In the background of the photo, there is a Christmas. So yeah, this is a Christmas party. Are you? Okay, you are someone. Okay. Okay. And then we have... Is that... I think this is, I'm pretty sure that that's Zach. Yeah, okay, so there's nothing new here. Okay, no, we can't. I'm like, click the background just in case. Okay. Gamma. There we go. Hey. Okie doke. And let's... Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. Alrighty then. So we're looking... So we have you. And we have this. So this is a Christmas party. Okay. Now I do still need to be here. Okay, I looked at my timer. I only have a minute left. Okay. Well, I'm gonna bring this episode to a close right here. In the next one, we see where these pictures lead us. Again, thank you, Dan, for that little hint. Again, if you do want to give me clues, please just ask first. Don't just go, okay, I'm giving you this clue. Like, please say, would you like a clue? I would really appreciate that. But yeah, that is everything for this episode. In the next one, full steam ahead. Full steam ahead on these pictures. But until then, please remember to like if you enjoyed, leave a comment below, and if you wanted to subscribe, it would be very much appreciated. A special thanks to my channel members, such as SM2K, Christopher K. Davis, CGG, and Kevin Bicknell. I've been Callista. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.